Hello. Hi. Hey. Hello. Hi, everybody. This is Dice Bag here again. Artist, game designer, world builder, and occasional VTuber. Guess what we're doing today? Guess what? Can you guess? Can you guess? We got any takers? Is anybody even in the chat yet? Probably not. But anyways, we're drawing more creatures today. Who'd have guessed? Who'd have guessed? I did say it would probably be the main thing I'd be doing from now on with the streams. But alas, it is still the thing we're doing. And thing is, today, my assistant sent me a message yesterday, or was it the day before, saying they got some line art finished for me for some of my designs I sketched up a while back. And I was like, oh great, that's something I can do on stream. Then I remembered I sketched those designs while being recorded from the screen in OBS, and I can't record the rest of the process, the coloring, while I'm streaming in that manner. So, not going to be doing those this stream. But luckily, we have a big backlog of class illustrations. I'm going to make an illustration for every class. There's 53 of them right now. 53 of them. And I don't have that many illustrations left yet. I don't have that many illustrations made yet. So this is something we can always fall back on because it's going to take damn near forever to get all of them. So, they're also pretty easy. They usually go pretty quick. I could probably knock out at least 2. Probably more like 3 or 4 in this stream. Depending on how distracted I am, of course. But, yeah, that's the plan. We're going to find some classes that I can pop out an idea for, slap them on the page, and call it a night. Sound good? Sound good, everybody? Sounds good to me. So anyways, time to open up that voice chat. Here we go. Go ahead, you're already in the stream room. I thought I'd have a minute or two to talk to the chat. Well, that's okay.
Oh no, it's a dice bagception.
It is a dice bagception.
What happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
I was like, oh no, you're late to your own stream, and then I looked at the Twitch and you were live 6 minutes ago, but also you're live now. I was worried for you. I was like, oh,
is there something going on with Twitch?
No, I just didn't have like your live stream live in the Twitch.
Oh, that's weird. 6 minutes ago, I should have been live in my loading screen.
Yeah,
oh, well.
So you were live in your loading screen, and then you were offline in Twitch, and you just have like a 6-minute VOD in the Twitch. Okay. So I was like, oh no, he got hit by another tornado.
No tornadoes, but apparently Odyssey is not working right now. Error code 502, like, bad gateway. Every time I try to load the Odyssey page, so we're probably not live over there if it even works for anybody.
Uh-oh. The SEC finally struck them down.
Maybe. I don't know the relationship with the library, but that's been taken down.
Oh, has it really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
They got screwed by crypto weird definitions.
Feels really bad.
Does. But, yeah, apparently Odyssey is a separate entity, so it can still function.
Does it still use the tokens as a separate entity to function? Or are they just venture capital boys now?
I don't know how it works. I don't think anybody really knows how it works, except for them. Maybe.
It's like slightly more complicated than magnets.
Well, it's a financial thing, so obviously it's going to be complicated. They can't make that stuff simple.
You know, anytime anybody tells me a financial thing is more complicated than supply and demand, I just assume they're lying to me. And that's worked out pretty well for me, just in life in general.
Okay, but what about interest rates?
Fake. I don't believe in interest rates.
I'm trying to find a picture here, but I've heard somebody describe like loans and interest rates and all that as the price of money itself.
Price of money?
Yeah. So
is that like the sound of silence?
If you want to get money, the interest rate is the price of getting the money.
The price
it's
of
like
the money.
Weird circular logic, but I guess it works.
I don't believe that for a second. If somebody says to me that what interest is the recuperation on the risk that is potentially posed to the lender, I'd be like, okay. But defining it as the price of money, I'm just like, now you're trying to be wizardy. I don't like this. What do you mean the price of money? The price of money is money. It's what it is.
Okay, but you don't have money. So what does it cost to get the money?
What does it cost to get the money?
Does it cost the same amount as the money?
Yeah. It costs $1 to get $1.
How are you going to get more if you don't have any?
If you don't have any?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it like really. I didn't realize I was walking into an economics stream.
Neither did I.
I think like at its core, money is a token of like labor or a unit of work. And so we divide labor or like figurize labor as money. So money has always existed. We've simply changed its form and given it a name and then taken steps to abstract it from what it really is. So you're never making money. You're simply turning it into a token that is in itself incredibly fake and not real. My hot take is all money is cryptocurrency. And it's all fake and silly. Not that we should or should not return to bartering, but that's more real than money. Anyways, what you doing today? What's on the docket?
As I was just explaining to the audience that may or may not be listening right now, I got some line art back from my assistant, and I was gonna do that tonight, and then I remembered, oh wait, I drew the sketches for that as a recording, so I need to record the coloring as well, but I did it with the screen record rather than the built-in function on CSP because it looks better and more interesting to watch. So I can't do that while streaming, so I'm not going to do those. So now we're just doing class illustrations because those are easy. And I need a ton of them.
Can you not just download the video from YouTube after the VOD has ended?
Well, I could, but I mean, it's not the same proportions and it's got like me in it.
Oh.
Know what I'm saying?
A fatal error having yourself in your video.
I don't want it to be part of the time-lapse video, you know?
I do know, I think. No, I understand, actually. I just think the phrasing was funny.
So yeah, that's the plan for today.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty good plan.
Something I need to do.
I mean, plus the class illustrations are fun.
Yeah. Can usually knock them out real quick. Whoops. Okay, hold on.
Uh-oh. Is this a famous last words moment?
No, I keep hitting the wrong buttons because I'm not looking at the keyboard.
Oh.
My hand was in the wrong position.
You're not just wearing the power glove.
No, I'm not wearing a power glove.
These truly are the worst of times. There's a part of me that sincerely wishes I had a power glove. when I'm like at the tablet drawing stuff. That way I wouldn't even have to like touch my screen. I could just have like my hand in my lap and I could just like touch the pads on my palm or something and manipulate stuff. You know, just be obscenely cozy. That's what I want in life.
You just want that VR drawing experience.
That's too much work. Like, I don't want to have to move any more than I need to. More than I need to being, like, moving at all.
This sucks. I hate what I'm doing right now. I don't know why it's so difficult.
Just like the claws?
Like the body.
Oh, the body.
I will try more like this.
Have you... And I don't want to be out of line when I say this, but have you considered drawing a box? I hear it's extremely effective. But no, I don't envy your position there. Starting with the foreground, moving into the background, drawing a man with Freddy Krueger hands.
Let's see. Got a face like so. You know what? I should probably screen share, shouldn't I? In Discord. Let's see. Applications. Flip Studio Paint. There we go.
Oh, did you get the new OBS update?
No.
I picked it up because I was like, I'll stream today a little bit. Might as well pick this up and just enjoy how much it messes up all of my settings.
Get it over with.
Yeah. Miracle, it did not mess up any of my settings.
Wow.
I was flabbergasted.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid to update it because, like, what was it? I guess yesterday I was working on, or practicing rather, for a karaoke stream that I'm planning on doing.
Okay.
And so I like got my reverb and like my audio levels figured out for the most part, and I'm like, I don't want to touch it.
Did you also sync up like your audio with like the desktop audio? All that stuff?
No.
Uh-oh.
I'm not entirely sure how that works, but from the recordings I did, it seems pretty close.
Oh, you're just naturally synced?
I guess. I don't know.
You lucky son of a gun.
Like, there's it seems a little bit off in some places, but that might just be me.
I have not stopped by your first karaoke stream. I do not know the quality or disquality of your karaokeing. However, I would hazard to guess, based on the limited information I have about you as a human, scratch that, as an android being.
Cyborg
Being, booyah. I would imagine it's the computer, which is also you. Ostensibly.
So what you're saying is you expect me to be pretty good at it.
Yes, that's what I was getting at, yes.
I do, you know, when I was in high school and I played the flute in band,
You were a flautist?
I was a flautist.
I did not peg you as a flautist.
I actually have a bass flute now, which I haven't played in a long time.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
It is pretty sick, but yeah. One of our band teachers had us do some like play tests to like gauge our skill, and I was told that I was the only flute player who played everything 100% correctly in the rhythms.
Oh. So it's like you should play the drums instead.
Take that, chicks. Y'all got no rhythm. You can't count.
Absolutely brutalized. Why the flute?
Seemed like fun.
Was it?
It was alright.
Huh.
I mean, I don't have much to compare it to. It's basically the only instrument I played. Although, as I understand, I think most woodwinds have basically the same fingerings.
Wait, is a flute a woodwind?
Yeah.
There's no wood in it, though.
Where's the wood in the saxophone?
It's the reed.
Okay, so?
Like the wooden reed.
Have you never heard of a wooden flute?
You know what? Now that you mention it, I have heard of wooden flutes. I've literally never considered the flute a woodwind. I don't know. I guess I always thought it was a brass instrument, but that makes even less sense.
Nah, not a brass. But yeah, it's the same kind of thing, I suppose. I probably should have tried more instruments when I was that age, but I was barely that interested in the flute for a lot of the time.
I guess my thing is just like, if I had to take you for an instrument player, and if it was one of the blown instruments, it would have been like a like a saxophone or like trumpet. You seem a little trumpety to me.
When I was first picking out an instrument, they tried to get me to do the clarinet, but I hated the reed. Like, it literally made me jump from being startled at how bad the vibration was when I tried.
Oh, you don't consider them good vibrations?
No, I don't consider those good vibrations. It's weird.
Oh my gosh. I do not play any instruments. However, I have a friend who played the saxophone, and it sounds weird when you say he let me blow on his saxophone, but that's what happened, and I was like, this is sick. I love this. Little bit of a pause moment, but that's the case. Sax is good.
Sax is alright. It sounds alright. I just, it's the reed. Not a big fan of reeds.
Mr. Fantastic, sorry to let you down. That's Reed Richards.
Oh.
Not a big fan.
Not a big fan of Reed Richards?
Nah. Honestly, real talk and like highly controversial statement, Mr. Fantastic's superpower is so incredibly lame. Like, oh, he's stretchy. Oh no, what's he gonna do? He's gonna stretch his arm out and slap me. Oh, I'm so afraid.
I'm sure there's
like the Human
creative
Torch.
Things he could do with it.
I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like his whole shtick, is that he uses it in creative ways, but he's sitting right next to the Human Torch, which is like substantially more intimidating than Mr. Fantastic Stretchy Man.
I was never a big Fantastic Four guy, definitely, but I can appreciate the idea of the stretchy man and what that entails. Because you gotta think his entire body is composed differently than a normal human, and what all that means.
the space is there to explore the concept of what it means to be
stretchy.
rubber. Yeah. But honestly, One Piece just did it better.
Well, One Piece came much later.
You are correct.
Also, I don't know much about One Piece.
I also don't know much about One Piece, but I just, if somebody was like, hey, would you rather watch the Fantastic Four featuring Mr. Fantastic or One Piece featuring Monkey D. Luffy? I'm taking One Piece. And I don't really want to watch either of them, to be honest.
I guess. The concept of pirates with superpowers never really like hit my interest. Especially with the art style.
That I understand that. It's a little bit of a miss for me as well.
A little too goofy for me to take it seriously.
I liked that episode that I saw circulating on social media where it went full on goof. Like, I was like, that's good. I like that.
I've not seen what you're talking about.
Oh, it's like rubber hose animation. Goofy.
Oh, yeah? Like, there is goofy stuff in it, but it also tries to take itself seriously in a lot of cases, and that's that's something that I have a hard time taking seriously when you switch between the tones too much.
You can't take the chibi reindeer that turns into like a buff Zangief seriously?
No, really.
That's crazy.
Especially not when they're drawn the way they are.
I see.
But there's you can do it right, but you kind of have to play it all straight. Like JoJo is very goofy in a lot of places, but it's done as if that's just normal.
Yeah, they play it straight.
Yeah.
One Piece, as far as I know, also plays it straight. I just think it's a lot less compelling. What's the thing? It's like a One Piece fan trying to get you into the anime by saying it gets good around episode 1000.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have that kind of investment.
Don't have that much time to invest.
Right. I mean, I'm not even sure money is real, let alone investing it. Come on.
Yeah, and how much is that gonna cost?
Is there gonna be interest?
What's the cost of watching One Piece?
I don't think we're ready to actually know, like, definitively. I think that might be, not like privileged information, but definitely cursed information. Like, you're not supposed to know.
Only God knows the price of watching One Piece.
The answer is sealed in a chest somewhere in the Pacific Ocean.
A.S. Brunner,
and you'll find it there.
Said,
in One
evening
Piece.
everyone.
Yeah, I suppose. Let's see. Hey there, A.S. Brunner. How's it going? We're just discussing, what were we discussing? One Piece, that's what it's called. You just said it.
Yeah, I hit you with the title drop and everything.
We're discussing it and neither of us know anything about it.
I know a little bit about it. I know there's a man. His name is Monkey D. Luffy. He's a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. He's just a silly, funny little guy.
And he's a ripoff of Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, you got it. That's it. I was about to say, I wouldn't go that far to call him a ripoff, but I would say an improvement over Mr. Fantastic. Like, if Mr. Fantastic was a spiced up dish, you got Monkey D. Luffy.
A spiced up dish. That's an unusual way of putting it.
You know, like right now he's just like a bland, kind of boring.
Scientist
I don't know.
dude.
He's like rice without any pepper or salt. And Monkey D. Luffy is like rice with some Indian curry on the side. Maybe that's unfair to the creators of the Fantastic Four, but you know, I just calls them as I sees them.
I eat my rice pretty plain when I do.
Do you? You don't have any salt, any pepper?
No, I just eat other things with it.
Like simultaneously.
Yeah, not on it. I'm not a big fan of putting things on each other. Like in general.
You don't like turning your kitchen into a melting pot?
No.
That... I don't mean to be rude to the person who's so graciously having me as company, but that sounds so boring. Wait, what's your take on soups? How do you feel about soups?
They're okay as long as there's not too much going on.
I see.
I tried making a stew for the first time like yesterday. And
Was
I definitely
that too
had
much
too
going
much
on?
in there. Yeah, I had too much in there.
So you wouldn't like take the European tradition of the forever pot of soup? Just too busy. Just like
If there's not-
running.
If there's not too much stuff in it that's like weird and off the wall compared to the other stuff, I guess it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I made a stew because stew seemed like it would be good because I've had stews like when I was a kid and they were all right.
Yeah.
But like I don't know anything about making them. I'm throwing stuff in there and hoping it turns out all right, and I definitely needed less.
Oh man. Do you like curry? Do you have a take on curry?
I
Or
don't
is it
th-
just also in the stew category?
I don't think I've tried curry before.
Really? This is the most American, like, center America take I've ever heard from you. Because I can't fault you for it, because, like, why would you have ever tried curry? But at the same time, you gotta get some curry. It's real good.
And for context, I eat burgers usually with just ketchup only.
No, I don't blame you for that. Ketchup is good. Honestly, I don't blame you for liking the simple food even, because like sometimes people just go too ham. They don't appreciate what's on their plate. You know, sometimes just like beef is good to be consumed as beef. It doesn't need like a whole bunch of stuff on it.
Beef is one of the things that needs something. That's why we keep
Not
the ketchup
if-
on it.
Not if it's good beef.
Then it
I
needs
think-
A1 sauce.
You're insane. I can no longer get behind. I wanted to be on Team Dice Bag, but now I'm definitely not on Team Dice Bag.
Okay, I did try to throw some A1 sauce in the stew, and that was also a mistake.
Well, you see, the thing about stews is that the proper flavor for your stew is the secretions of the things that you put in the stew. Like if you use a pre-made broth or like a bouillon cube, you're cheating yourself. You're skipping steps. You gotta like distill and deconcoct the essence of the life forces you're melting together in the pot.
Yeah, well, I did only put it in for one bowl, so I'm probably gonna try some more later without the A1 sauce. 'Cause I still got leftovers, but I don't know if I'll end up eating the whole thing, because it was that good.
Oof. It's a damning. What's the word? Critique of the stew.
First time for everything, it's bound to suck.
You just like hit the savant button, you know?
What?
Hit the savant button. Just like come out the gate as a chef swinging. Gordon Ramsay shows up in your house and he's like, "This is amazing. Wow."
I hear sirens in the background of my house.
In your house? That's not good. You got to get out of there.
It sounds like there's a fire truck going by. I don't know.
I'm happy to inform you that I have heard nothing.
Well, that's good.
It could be Discord sound cancellation, or it could be OBS's sound cancellation, but whatever it was, I've heard nothing.
I barely heard it through my headphones, so probably wasn't too loud. I got a nursing home like down the street from me, so not an uncommon occurrence.
Oh no!
We get hospital or ambulances around occasionally.
So sad. At least it's presumptively just old age, though. That's not so bad.
Yeah. Usually don't have shootings or stuff like that.
The fact you felt the need to bring it up and say usually makes me a little concerned.
We don't have enough shootings that I would be aware of them.
I have never lived in a place where shootings would be something that people would consider a probability, let alone an issue. Like, I think it's wild that there are places where shootings are considered an issue.
Yeah, same for me, but the place I live is sometimes called Little Chicago. And
Chicago.
It's not because of like murder rate or anything like that. It's more about like teen pregnancies and meth.
You know, that is better. It's like the opposite. It's like the birth rate and the just people having a good time rate. It's too high.
Having a good time. I'm pretty sure my neighbor was one such dude.
Many such cases.
It's a weird place around here because there's not like a ghetto or anything. There's just like the rundown creepy house on every street. You'll have people have nice house, then there's some rundown house right in between all of them.
So what you're saying is there are no HOAs there. You live in a truly free state.
This is true, except that we have property taxes. So not quite.
Well, you know, as the weak that we are, we must suffer what we must.
Okay. Mr. Poetry.
Nothing gets me more heated. Nothing makes me more of like a libertarian weirdo than the concept of property taxes. It actually enrages me.
Yeah, because you don't actually get to own the thing that you bought and paid for over years and years, do you?
Right. I mean, like, what happens if I don't pay my property tax, Mr. Man? What are you going to do? And it's like, well, the answer, you're not going to like the answer. It's that they're going to imprison you. And it's like, it's not fair, is it?
Yeah.
How does that work? I thought this was for a world war.
It's not like you get utilities for free or something. Those aren't covered by your property taxes. I still got to pay my water bill every month. I still got to pay for electricity, internet, all that.
Man, every time I get my like yearly like tax letter from the city, whatever it's called, it has a breakdown of where my taxes are going, and one of them's always like, oh yeah, the like biggest chunk is always to schools and stuff. And I'm like, I don't have kids. Why am I paying this? This doesn't help me. Go away. I've seen these kids. They're not learning anything there. Hi.
See, AS Brunner says, I leave for 5 minutes and you go from talking about Monkey D. Luffy to discussing murder rates in cities. Yeah? What about it? This
Sorry,
is the
I'm a
nature.
little...
This is the nature of the streams.
I do not have the ability to help Dice keep a throw line. If anything, I will tangent any topic into oblivion.
Which is fine. Because
somebody has to.
Otherwise, I would be silent for the most part and just like talk about, I'm gonna put this line here. I don't like that line. Let's move that line over here. And that'd be the whole stream.
What's your take on the lasso tool? Oh wait, no. AS Brunet says you get a tax paycheck. You get taxed when you buy something. The thing you buy gets taxed. It all gets taxed.
Oh, you should look up the tax poem. Have you heard the tax poem?
What is it? In California, if you're a freelance writer, they tax you per word. I don't think that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like if you charge per like 2 cents per word, if California said, okay, we're gonna charge you 0.25 cents a word, I'd be like, yeah, that checks out. That makes sense. That's in line with normal tax policy.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
The tax poem. Tax his land, tax his bed, tax the table at which he's fed, tax his tractor, tax his mule, teach him taxes are the rule. Tax his work, tax his pay, he works for peanuts anyway. Tax his cow, tax his goat, tax his pants, tax his coat, tax his ties, tax his shirt, tax his work, tax his dirt. Tax his tobacco, tax his drink, tax him if he tries to think. Tax his cigars, tax his beers, if he cries, tax his tears. Tax his car, tax his gas, find other ways to tax his ass. Tax all he has, then let him know that you won't be done till he has no dough. When he screams and hollers, then tax him some more. Tax him till he's good and sore. Then tax his coffin, tax his grave, tax the sod in which he's laid. Put these words upon his tomb, taxes drove me to my doom. When he's gone, do not relax, it's time to apply the inheritance tax.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually moved. I'm actually, like, I am seething and coping. Right
yeah, when
now.
you hear it all just shoved into the same, given to you like right as a blitzkrieg of this is all the stuff you get taxed for. It's like
3% postage tax. That's all it took. So it was 3% on stamps. And now it's infinitely worse, and everyone's like, this is fine. I'm okay with this.
How else will we pay for the military?
You're right. Heavens forbid I'm the military.
Heavens forbid Europe protect itself and have its own military.
Oh, I mean, like, I'd be cool. I like the Europeans. Like, as a well-regulated militia, I would like to defend Europe. I'll do it myself. I'll go over, I'll visit, like, a cousin or someone, and I'll be like, hey, guys, I'm ready to die, I guess. Have nothing else going on. Anyways, taxes. Am I right?
Right. Taxes.
But it's so boring. It's so stupid.
It is
it's
kind
like,
of a
hey,
boring
everybody.
Topic. Did you know taxes
These guys
suck?
hate taxes. It's like, oh no, you don't say. Tell me more.
Taxes is bribing the government to not throw you in prison. Yeah, pretty much. That's protection money. You don't want people to ruin your business, right?
Too late.
You want to live in a safe society, right?
You know what? This might be controversial, but I do want to live in a safe society. That's it. That's all I have.
That's okay.
Don't know that being taxed to death is the way to go about it, though.
This is true. But that is the thing that they hold over your head.
True.
Or one of the things.
To what degree would you be acceptable? Like, if there was a scale and you could slide it yourself, and it was like a danger to tax scale, how far are you sliding the scale?
I don't know. Like, I'd have to play around with it.
Mm-hmm.
But more important, I think if I had multiple scales, I'd be able to tell you a lot more.
Like you would balance, like there are things you would definitely be willing to be taxed for, and other things that you would just be like, no.
Yeah.
Not that one. I don't care if I get shot tomorrow, but I'm definitely not paying for that one. I understand that.
Like a lot of traffic taxes and stuff like that. I don't need to have a sticker on my license plate to know how to drive. Sorry, government.
Well, I mean, like, the sticker is not an indicator that you know how to drive. It's a privilege that says that you are allowed to drive. The license says you know how to drive.
Yeah, but the license is also the privilege to drive.
Correct. They are both the privileges. Just one is more of a privilege than the other, because one of them is both the privilege to drive and the notification that you know how to drive, which is why you only have to renew it every 4 years instead of every year. Like, you know, the little sticker is a privilege for each one of your individual cars and or motorcycles.
Now hold on there. How is it a privilege when I bought the car?
Well, because you're driving it on Uncle Sam's roads.
So, the roads are already there.
Right, but they belong to Uncle Sam, and if you disagree that it's a privilege, he'll kill you.
Well, they're publicly funded. That means they're publicly owned. So I own them.
Yeah, by Uncle Sam. You're not actually the public. Uncle Sam is the public. That's why they call him Uncle Public Sam.
I am a stakeholder in the public ownership by virtue of being a citizen.
But you see, the stakes are only there when you're planning to construct the road. After the cement is down and dried, you can remove the stakes. That's just construction, baby.
Alright, I'm not sure if I should keep playing devil's advocate with you or...
I'll play the devil's advocate. You know what?
Actually, I was saying you were the one playing devil's advocate.
Oh, I'm playing devil's advocate?
You're arguing for the government. Of course you're playing devil's advocate.
Oh, I'm terrified of the government. I'll always argue for the government's behalf. There's nothing scarier.
Dale asks, can Uncle Sam display public nudity, or is that worse because it's everyone's nudity?
Uncle Sam has to display nudity publicly. Otherwise, how else would he enter into the global dick measuring contest?
This is true. If Uncle Sam is going to display nudity at all, it has to be public.
Right. I would revolt if it was private. I have a right to that nudity.
The taxpayers have to see. We have to know what we're paying for.
Oh, it's so cursed. I love it. Imagine taking these past couple of sentences to a civics teacher and just being like, here you go. This is what I was working on. This is my thesis. I think they'd get a real kick out of it.
Darwin Award?
Or maybe not.
What do you mean by that, Dale? I don't think that's the way you apply that phrase.
Wait, what's Darwin Awards?
I don't know. Dale sounds like a toddler using words he don't understand.
Maybe it means something else in Australia land.
Maybe. By the way, I feel like a lot of slang from later generations is literally just them not understanding the slang that other people have been using.
You think so?
You ever notice that? Like, they'll use a word that's clearly a slang that kind of sounds like that it like resembles slang from other words from that you're familiar with, but it's like you're using that wrong, bro. What do you mean boomer?
Can you give an example?
Boomer.
Boomer?
Comes from baby boomer.
Right.
But they just use it for any old person.
Yes. But I think I'm gonna give them credit. I think they understand its origin. I don't think they care.
I don't think most of them understand the origin.
I think they have to.
I think some of the smarter ones do. But I think your average one probably has no idea where that come from. They probably don't even know that they're considered Gen Z.
What do they think that they're considered?
They probably don't even think about generations like that.
Oh, they have no concept of the self.
Not the self, but the terminology you use to discuss these things.
I like the fantasy I've concocted where Gen Z is a hive mind.
A.S. Bernard says, India seems to do just fine without traffic laws. I don't know about that.
To be fair, I've never seen a car accident in India.
From what I hear...
It might be...
From what I hear, they have cows roaming the streets.
But no car accidents.
I don't know about any, but they probably don't have dash cams on all their vehicles like Russia does.
That's an insurance thing in Russia, right?
Probably. I guess the thing is that Russians are such bad drivers, they're required to have dash cams. I don't know if it's government or insurance or what.
If you had a dash cam on your car, do you think you would be vindicated or incriminated more often than not?
I'm not sure.
I think I'm definitely getting incriminated more often than not.
The thing is, like, every time I've been in any kind of collision, it's always been like, I have no idea where this guy came from, so I don't even know if I'm at fault. Except for the one time where I back-ended a lady in a van. But that was because...
Were you... Hold on. I need further clarification. Did you back into a lady who was in a van, or were you in a van and you backed into just like a lady that was standing there?
No, the lady was in the van.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
No. It's... The thing is, like, I was just driving down this street going as I do. And there was a mail truck on the other side of the street. You know mail trucks, right?
Yeah, just like a post office truck.
Yeah, and they go along this side of the street and just like they're on the wrong side of the car sitting, so they can just reach out and stick the stuff in the mailboxes that are on the curb.
Right.
You familiar with these? Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
one of those on the other side, and there is an entire train of cars piling up behind it because it was going so slow. So as I was passing this thing, I was kind of looking over it, being kind of distracted. I was like, oh great, these guys are really slowing things down over here. And I look in front of me, and there's the van there, because I'm like coming up over a hill, so I didn't really see anything there. And I look, and there's a van there, and I'm like, oh okay, this van's got its turn signal on. And it's still got its turn signal on, and it's not moving. It's not moving at all. It's not actually moving at all. Oh wait, it's trying to turn into the train of cars that's waiting on the mail truck, and it's literally at a complete stop. So by the time it all registered and I slammed on the brakes, it was just too late. You, where it's coming from?
Yeah, what was the conclusion of this fated day?
The van was practically unscathed. My car basically collapsed the entire front end because it's a small car. And, yeah, I had to pay a bunch of money to fix it.
Ugh. These stories never end well.
I had pretty good insurance, though, so it wasn't too bad, but, I mean...
Can I ask, what was the premium you got stuck with?
I don't remember. This was a while ago.
I have only gotten into car accidents letting other people use my vehicle, which I still do because I'm stupid, I guess. But the first time was I let this cute lady who I was crushing on use my sedan, crashed it into a parked vehicle, got a phone call from my insurance, and they were like, hey, do you know this person who crashed your car? And I was like, yeah. And then the next time was this fella I was in a romantic relationship with, and then he crashed my car texting and driving, and I got a call from my insurance agency, and it was like, so we have on your record that you've been in one other accident before, and it was this woman who crashed your car. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, you're not gonna believe what happened next. And so I'm at work and I get this phone call and I'm like, you are kidding me. And then the time after that is my now wife crashed my car. But it's okay.
Because she's your wife.
Crashed it into a bollard. So the only person that was hurt was me, and the amount of money that needed to be paid was minimal compared to every other time.
Yeah, for me, it's just been that one time, and then like maybe a fender bender or two in parking lots. Because I can't freaking see around big old trucks that are everywhere in this town. Because I live in freaking rural Illinois.
The lots are killer, man. It's those like slow collisions are like the most common.
Yeah, I've just started, whenever I go out to Walmart, I just park in like the furthest row away.
I just do that because I have trust issues. Like,
I definitely have trust issues now when it comes to that. I don't know if somebody's gonna start backing out right when I am or what.
Dale, this is the truth. It's the rule that I know is true that I refuse to follow because I'm actually mentally challenged and I don't know how to learn from my past mistakes. But if you can learn from my mistakes, please make them a little more worthwhile to have had in the first place.
Learn from the mistakes of others, because he sure can't.
Yeah, I need to be vindicated somehow. Basically, doing anything for somebody that you love is a miserable experience. To be honest with you, like, it never goes well. It's like extremely cruel how that works. Like, you think, oh my gosh, I love this person, I'm gonna help them out, and then you try to help them out and you're like, I've made a mistake.
They don't deserve me.
They have taken advantage of my love for the first time. And the last time, right? No. Can't believe I would be insulted like this in the Discord chat.
Oh no, what's Dale saying? Is he starting shit?
No, because he's correct, but it's still very rude. I just wasn't ready for it, you know? Alright, I'm gonna hop out for a second. I have to take my dinner out of the oven and consume it.
Alright. Have fun. Alright, now we gotta get the shading on this boy. Let's see. We'll just play around with this. Might need a little higher opacity on that. Here's the art instruction portion. Oh yeah, he did burn it last time. Let's see, we can probably give him a pretty hefty shadow.
Hello.
Hey, Evergrade, just in time. Kohat left me to get his food.
How could he be so selfish, wanting to eat when you're busy doing art?
I know, right?
The nerve. You don't have to worry about me. I never eat except for all those times when I do. Speaking of which, maybe I should step away if I have something to eat. Whoa! I had dinner already, so I can hang around for a while. How's it going?
It's going alright. We're just doing typical stuff because I didn't have anything else prepared, so we're gonna do easy stuff.
The classic Cryture cast.
Dale's in the chat, but yeah, A.S. Brunart in the
Hey
YouTube
Dale,
chat.
how's it going? I'm doing fine. Took sort of a I've been kind of like on and off with art, but I'm digging back into it again. Working on sort of a project, I think. Well, yeah, sort of an impromptu project.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, when I was a kid, one of the earlier games I played was Superstar Saga. It had a bigger impression on me than I realized. So I like drawing Mario stuff, but I think I adapted that style pretty hard into some of my art.
Really? You like drawing Mario stuff?
Yeah, I know. Like, would you believe it with my heavy realism I bring to my art?
I never would have guessed.
Yeah. The reason I bring it up is that recently there was a beta version of Superstar Saga that was leaked, and included were a bunch of scrapped designs that were never released in the official one. I've been redrawing them for fun, and when I get around to it, I'm going to be practicing my coloring on them.
That's good.
Yeah,
Coloring is a thing people neglect.
it is. I had a style that was vaguely similar to the kind of style that the Mario and Luigi art would have, that sort of painted look, but not super detailed. The problem, which is where my other tasks will come in, I'm going to be looking into making brushes, and I'm going to be trying to get a brush so I can imitate that style. I think I have a decent one that I wanted to find, a sort some sort of watercolor pastel brush, but I want to try and get practice making my own.
Yeah, that's definitely a good skill to have. It's not
Yep.
there's lots of tutorials about making your own brushes too. Not too hard to pick up.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about making it. It seems simple enough as long as you follow the steps. It's more testing out the brushes and seeing what I like.
Yeah, you got to do some experimenting with it.
Yeah, and experimenting for that, and just understanding some colors. Maybe looking up some color theory, because it's like with drawing. You need to keep doing it and keep getting the bad art out of you and understanding what works. One thing that surprised me is that how lighting can work, and while using one general layer to shade to color things makes a lot of sense. I like trying to go the extra mile with more colors when I can. It's surprising what does work. Like, I drew a little tribute to the final boss in Superstar Saga, and I was surprised at how with the lighting, I used the main base color was purple. I used some blue for some shading, and for the lighting, I shifted to pink and tried out yellow with like the light coming from underneath, because you know how light can reflect, and I like to do a basic version of that.
Yeah, reflected light.
Yeah. Yeah, the technical it worked. I was surprised with how well the pink and the yellow fit together. Like, there's so many cases where you look at colors, you think it's just like a regular green, but you realize it's it's a bit closer to a dark blue or a yellow. It just has a different look to it because it's compounded with all the other colors surrounding it.
Yeah, neutral colors generally they tend towards some actual color, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, you know, color wheel stuff. It's not amazing, but doing it and getting it correctly done in practice is harder than you well, at least for me, it's harder than I realize.
Always is when you haven't done it much.
Yeah.
Dale says, coloring is pain. Decided for my project to go scratchy and monochrome mostly. That sounds like a cop out, Dale.
You know, there is value in going for black and whites, or going the manga routes and doing it with gray. But I don't want it to be this scary thing that I'm afraid to do. It's not. It can definitely be annoying, but even though it probably won't ever not be time consuming, my main concern is to get it to a point where I'm always willing to do it, and I can get it to look good at worst. Because that's the main problem.
I think that's what everyone wants to have, is their stuff is good at worst.
That's one way to put. That's one way to put it. I certainly have a way with words, don't I?
Dale says it is a cop out. The reason I'm bad. Okay, but you don't get better if you don't stretch yourself.
You'll always be bad when you start.
Kohes says I would become a color extremist. Having color is always better than not having color. I don't know about that. I said something on Twitter to a guy this week who shared a similar opinion as me on the topic, that he says comic art like leans too heavily on like detailed coloring or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. Because with comics especially, they always go really heavy on the line art, and like they'll completely render the drawing in the line art, but then the colorist comes in and he renders the thing again but with the colors underneath of it, and it just looks weird. Like you got the pure blacks and stuff like that, and then cross-hatching on top of gradients and stuff, and it looks like a mess. Never been fond of that style. I'd say just go pure black and white with it.
Honestly, yeah, I saw. That reminded me of how there was one Batman comic a while ago. The main selling point was that it was black and white, and maybe it helped me appreciate the detailed line art, because it was really good. And while I don't have anything against coloring it in, it's very hard. Black and white can be extremely striking. Just getting the contrast, just having that contrast, and every time with every page you look at or every illustration, something I like to do sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that comic art does that even when they're going to color the thing. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Why do you just spend all the time on this great black and white piece and then color it?
Yeah. It might be better for the artist and for like the people who draw and ink it and color it if they go for a less is more approach, because I like all the detail, but like you said, if the coloring isn't done right, some of the work is rendered a good chunk of the work is rendered pointless, and the more detailed stuff is going to be the harder stuff for an artist. So of all the effort to waste, no one would wants it to be that.
Yeah. Usually I don't want to poo-poo fellow artists, but I feel like comic colorists are kind of on the lower rungs of actually having coloring skills. Know what I mean? The coloring always seems very basic.
Yeah, I kind of understand that. I don't know, I've seen some great colors, but it does feel like the digital coloring isn't on a general scale isn't amazing, or at the very least, it doesn't add as much as it should.
It's usually very generic looking is the problem. It's just like, okay, this arm has a shadow, so we're gonna put a gradient on it, and then we're gonna, put a gradient for the it's all gradients. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they actually paint the thing for the most part. It's either airbrushes or just gradients slapped on there.
Yeah, I could probably do
just
that.
Don't look good. Especially with the detailed line art, like I was saying.
Yeah. It reminds me of something I do like with an airspray tool or with multiply layers, just using one color and having it over everything, where it does work, but having more colors, or at least one more color, adds more visual variety, I guess, and with some and can look better, because if you've got a blue multiply layer you're using that for shading, and you have different shades of blue, it's gonna look, in the main piece, it'll look awkward.
If you're using a blue multiply layer on blue, then you're already doing something wrong.
Yeah. It's more that I pick a general color, it looks good for most parts, and I realize, oh wait, this is a bit too similar near the end of it. It's not the worst problem, but it does lead but it does have me favoring the extra effort to add some variety to the more variety to the colors, even if that is kind of hard.
You do have to worry about that too, because sometimes too much variety is a thing, and it just makes the piece look busy.
Yeah, it's probably because I still have a lot to learn, but I don't go but it's pretty rare that I go insanely hard on the coloring, on the amount of colors I do. I think when these days I'm gonna be practicing it a bit, but if it's for a general color with like some solid shading or not too complicated, I think 4 colors is best. Maybe generally speaking, the main coloring, a lighting, a shading, and a sort of underlight you can put on the shading to make it seem like lights bouncing off of it.
Let's see. Dale says, what I hate is in manga when the characters are given tones and gradients that you naturally read as one set of colors, then they release the colored art and it's wildly different hue. Like, how does a dark gray become a shiny pale blonde? Like, what? Yeah.
That's... Yes.
That's definitely caused issues with manga, too. Like, I saw people bitching on Twitter, as they do, about One Piece and how, Robin, I think, was a darker skin tone in the first part of the anime, and that was literally because that's not how he wanted to draw them. That's just how the anime interpreted the colors before there was a solid reference for it.
There was you could look at it as a plot reason, because I believe Robin was probably spending a good amount of time in Alabasta, which is a desert setting. So, and no one seems to like to consider the idea of characters getting tan.
Yeah, that they barely even consider the concept of different lighting.
Yeah, it's sort of like with Daisy from Mario. This is actually a misconception, but I'm surprised it doesn't come up more. Most people, she comes from the region Sarasaland, which barely has any information about it because it only showed up in one game, but it's a common misinterpretation that it's a desert setting. It's actually got multiple settings, but I'm still surprised most people assume it's desert because that's what the first world is. I'm surprised most people don't assume she just gets a tan because of that misconception.
I think most people don't really think too much about the Mario settings, personally.
Well, they don't keep thinking about Daisy's skin tone just because Nintendo's was kind of inconsistent with it, and it's not super obvious. I wouldn't care, but it just keeps coming up for some reason, and people get really upset about it.
It is 2023. I almost said 2024. Had to stop myself.
We don't need to rush into that.
Not yet.
I'm happy. It'll come, but I want to take my time. Even if it can be a bit boring.
Tomboys with tan lines? You're so right, Dale.
Sure, I don't mind. Sure. I'm fine with Daisy either way, but she just has a tan, and sometimes she's out of the sun for a while. That's it. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I do like darker skinned anime girls.
That's fine. Sure.
But, it's weird that people just obsess over exactly how dark they are.
Yeah.
Freaking psychos. Some people obsess over skin tone, others like dark-skinned anime waifus. There's two different kinds of people.
Oh, I wonder which. I think I know which one Dale is.
It's important that we come to a consensus and agree that the people who like darker skinned anime waifus are correct. That's the only one that I care about. So long as we have this like tacit agreement.
Oh, look at Koeth coming in with the cold takes.
Yeah, what is this anti-white rhetoric, Kohet?
What's the neat anime waifus as well? Don't get it twisted. But if I could only have one, I'm taking olive skin every day of the week and twice on a Sunday.
Olive skin? Okay, so we're talking about Italian.
I thought you meant
No,
olive
they
green.
have olives, but their skins are not olivine.
So they are green.
What?
You said olive skin. Olives are green.
That's not what that means, and you know it.
I don't know anything.
Kohet likes the green waifus. He's into orcs.
Love me, my She-Hulk.
Man's into the Wicked Witch of the West. It's niche.
Oh man, I would take the orc over the Wicked Witch of the West. That is gnarly, and I'm not talking about her legs when they curl up underneath that house.
That's her sister. Get the lore straight.
I'm sorry, I don't even know what that film is called. Lore expert.
You need to understand the deep cosmology of the Wizard of Oz.
The deep cosmology of the. Oh, that's a sentence.
You say,
Okay.
you see, you have Kansas, and then you have not Kansas.
True.
Yes. It's very complicated. I can send you a copy of one of the latest dissertations.
What are you talking about? I need to leave this chat again. Holy cow.
This
is a lot more tame than I
Don't
wasn't
forget,
here.
you're here forever.
I wasn't expecting to enter and hear the cosmology of the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, so now you know the name of it.
Yeah, because
learning.
I'm stupid, but like I learn fast.
Don't worry.
Which sounds
Don't
like an
worry.
oxymoron, but I assure you it's not.
Don't
It's
worry.
just a
We'll get this
regular
lad.
moron.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
that's what they call me.
We'll get this lad caught up on the Wizard of Oz extended universe in no time.
That's not a thing. I'm not entertaining that sentence.
As you shouldn't. Was there ever a sequel? Did they ever make Wizard of Oz
There was
2?
actually.
Of
No.
course they did.
It's the Wizard of Zoe.
Wizard of
I don't want to
Zoe.
spoil this, but
Oh,
Zoe is
please don't.
Oz spelled backwards.
No.
That's not real. I swear that's not real.
I was
But
about
if it
to
is
say,
real,
how
I
does
take
this
full
guy
credit.
who barely knew anything about Wizard of Oz know about the sequel?
I do know that there is a sequel to the Wizard of Oz. I don't know what it's called.
Oh wait, that reminds me of this
Somebody
very.
Google it.
This
On
reminds
it.
me of this very interesting fact. Do you know the Legend of Zelda?
No.
Real fast, it's called Return to Oz.
I'll just pretend that doesn't exist. Anyway, do you know Tingle from the Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, he's the balloon guy. Weird, creepy balloon man.
Did you know that he had a set of games?
Are they like... No, I didn't.
Did you know that
Elucidate me.
Did you know that one of those games is a point-and-click romance visual novel which is also an adaptation of The Wizard of Oz?
This isn't some fan game, is it? 'Cause
No,
sounds
it's
like
published-
a fan game.
Well, it's stuck in Japan for a reason, but it's real and published by Nintendo.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So Nintendo had their Disney arc.
I mean, isn't that
Sure.
Nintendo's entirety is like a prolonged Disney arc?
Jeez, I hope not. Because I think we're kind of at the end point of Disney.
That's what
But
they
we'll
want you to believe.
I'm hopeful, but I know better.
no. No, you have to. When they're at their lowest point, they're gonna make a comeback. It'll be an underdog story, and then in 18 years, they will do an animation about their own comeback from relative obscurity.
Relative obscurity. Disney.
Ah,
I don't think Disney's ever going to completely go away, but they're going to be small potatoes for a while.
oh, I can. I'd rather they just learn from their mistakes and change. But that's too much to ask these days, isn't it?
The same people running it now are the people who caused the problem, so probably.
Yeah. Give me just a second. Gonna do something quick.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
It's been a while since I've seen most of them. My favorite
You
at the
mean
moment.
most of them.
My favorite at the moment is Wreck-It Ralph, the first one,
Really?
because there wasn't
Why?
a sequel.
Oh, that's why it was your favorite? Because there was no.
No. I don't know. Like, it was just really fun. I enjoyed Ralph as a character. This whole arc. It was just a nice. It was just a nice movie. Just a really nice movie. I enjoyed. And it was around this time that I kind of was gradually dipping out of Disney before they were doing more actively annoying things.
What about you, Dice?
I don't even know. I don't think I've watched enough Disney to really have a favorite.
I mean,
Yeah.
that makes deciding your favorite much easier.
You just think of one you like.
Yeah, but
Like,
Yeah.
what sticks out most?
I don't know. Toy Story, maybe?
That's a good pick.
It's
Just-
yeah.
It's like the patrician's pick.
Yeah.
That's very respectable.
It's like
Toy
I
Story
watched
is
it
good.
as a kid, and I still don't remember anything I hated about it.
That these days that's all it takes.
Yeah. You gotta cherish that memory. Never let it be corrupted.
That said, I don't think I've ever seen past Toy Story 2.
You should keep it that way.
Are they that bad?
I just think that they had the potential. They're not going to be as good as they would have been if you saw them when you were younger. And none of them are going to hold a candle to the memories you have of watching it the first time. The first movie the first time.
There's like 4 of them now, isn't there?
Yeah, there's 4. I stopped at
Crazy
the.
to me. 'Cause
I
People
stopped at-
say... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I stopped at the. I still don't know exactly what's going on. What happened with the 4th one? I'm fine with the trilogy.
I heard there was a 3rd one, and I'm like, oh man, they're gonna end it on that, huh? Apparently not. And then they make Lightyear, completely different.
Worth noting, the third Toy Story is universally loved.
Really?
Like, it is
People like-
considered the
Yeah,
ultimate ending to the series, and it was ended in a satisfactory way.
people like the trilogy, generally.
Well, people didn't like 2, but they loved 3 as an ending.
Can you give me
Really?
a synopsis of 3, like just a general rundown? Because I might have seen it, I just don't remember. I can't separate events of what happened in 2 and what might have happened in another one. Like, it's all blur. I've only seen 2 like one time.
3 is the one where Andy is all grown up, and then the toys like are passed down to like a new kid. And it's like very, very conclusory. Like this is the cycle of being a toy.
Like, I feel like I've seen one where Andy was grown up, but I don't remember being passed down. Is this the one with the guy in the chicken suit and stuff like that?
That's the second one.
That's the second one? Okay.
But Andy wasn't a grown up in that. I know that. You might have. Maybe you saw a bit of the third one.
Dale says
'Cause-
2 and 3 have remarkably similar plots. So maybe that's why it's a blur. I don't know.
Probably. I don't.
I tried to look up the synopsis for 3, and it's like a short story. I just need like a paragraph. Tells me what happens.
I will rewatch them someday. I don't know. I need to, because I understand. I can see them feeling similar, having the same similar plots, but I don't know. Something about them felt different.
Reading the end of this is gonna sound so lame, but reading the end of this Wikipedia summary of Toy Story 3 brings like a little tear to my eye, which probably means that I thought at the time I was watching it, it was very good.
I remember the ending, like the whole, like the sequence of events. The ending that was very good.
Oh my god!
Speaking of the chicken dude in Toy Story, this thing like came out in high school for me, I think, and we had a teacher that looked exactly like that dude.
Like the chicken?
Yeah, the guy in the chicken suit. That he was the collector,
like,
right?
Like he looked like him in the chicken suit?
No, he looked like the guy that wore the chicken suit.
Okay.
And like my cousin and some of her friends, in their senior year, they decided to do a senior prank, and they kept like posting pictures of that guy on the teacher's door, saying like the secret pictures have got out from the Christmas party and stuff like that.
Oh, that's so cool.
He had a good sense of humor about it.
I mean, at least you're being called like Golden Age Pixar animation instead of like, imagine if he was called like the first Toy Stories, like Sid, you know? Now that would be rough.
That's mean.
Of himself a 6-head.
A 6-head?
Yeah. Very, very tall head.
You know what? Sid was probably traumatized away from being a very interesting toy designer in his adult life.
Probably.
You can't look at, like, I can't look at Sid at least and think, oh, that guy's like indulging his creative side through these things he's doing with his toys.
Maybe. I don't know about this.
If the toys weren't alive, you would have no qualms with what he does.
Right, but they are alive.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
It is weird that the toys don't make it known that they're being tortured.
Yeah.
Like, you think you would lift the veil of secrecy when you're, like, on death's door? But, you know what? Actually, the toys didn't fight for themselves. I no longer have sympathy for them. I'm on your side now, Dice.
Just think of all the cool 90s looking toys that Sid would have come up with.
I'm no longer on your side. I never want to see those toys again.
Kohath, you're the dude who draws like body horror stuff.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean a kid should have access to it. You gotta save those things for adults.
Have you seen the kind of stuff they were putting out in the 90s? Like the whole gross out phase they went through with toys and kids and stuff?
I hated that. I do not like that. I do not understand what the appeal of that was. Because it was gross. I'm gonna be a guy and say like it wasn't great.
I'm generally with you, honestly, but I just don't dislike it in such an extreme way. But yeah, I wasn't too fond of like snot flavored candy as a kid.
Like, what are those beans that they still have today? Like
Jelly
the gross
beans?
out beans. The Burt's beans, where they're like, oh, it could be booger flavored. Oh, who knows? I'm like, why are people buying this? What is this? Why are people so gross?
I don't know.
I just, in that era, it was like, what's that one toy? It was like, oh yeah, you can pop this toy's pimples. And it's like, why?
Bros and Dale's in the Discord talking about colonialism fetish, I just noticed. Yes.
Okay.
Colonialism. That's what we call it.
It's not a fetish for colonialism. It's a fetish for...
It's the fetish that creates the colonialism.
Correct. It is what was previously referred to as jungle fever, but colonialism fetish is the colloquialism. Or the clinicalism.
Dale says there's a candy here called Camel Balls. The packaging is a cartoon camel showing off his testes. They allow that?
Well, yeah, it's Australia, you know?
It's okay if it's... Wait, camels aren't... Oh wait, do they have camels? I feel like there is a camel variety in Australia.
For some reason, I feel like Australia is the biggest, like, agricultural producer of camels in the world.
That sounds familiar. I think we might have had this talk with Dale at some point.
If I've remembered this from a conversation on this stream, I'm taking back this statement that I'm stupid. And instead saying that I am actually an intellectual powerhouse.
I think it's time I called this little piece done. Move on to another one, by the way.
Nice.
Looks done to me. I don't think there's
What's his
anything
name?
else I can do it. This is Ragahaunted.
Oh, I remember his pre-evolution now.
Ragastuffin. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the construct creatures.
He is representing the Blade class here.
How many... This is a genuine question. If you're the world's largest exporter of camels, how many camels do you need to export to like maintain that title? Is it like 7? Or is it like several thousand? Like, what is the quantity of camels to have that title?
If you have to ask, then there's not enough.
We send
I mean, the
camels
thing
to
is, there
Middle
is
East.
enough. But is that like because you send a camel to the Middle East, now their like camel capacity is met? Are you sending like thousands of camels to the Middle East to make up for like a severe camel shortage over there?
Well,
Like-
it depends. We don't know how badly every region's camel deficiency goes.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I am a purveyor of centaur waifus, right? If I draw and export one centaur waifu, it puts me in the top like 0.0001% of centaur waifu exporters.
Wait, back up.
don't know about that.
Can centaurs be part camel?
I don't see why they couldn't.
So are you talking about drawing a centaur, a camel centaur, or a horse centaur?
Well, when you say centaur without any like modifiers, it implies horse, right?
That's why I'm asking. Because I
Yeah,
don't know
of
what the
course, it's
modifier
gonna
would
be
be like for like half human, half camel.
What's the biological term for a like camel? Like, does it have a scientific name? Because you would just say that and then add tor at the end of it.
Why do you want me to stop them, Dale?
It has
Dale hates centaurs for some reason. I
Oh,
have
that-
no idea why he's so opposed.
I bet he hates camels too.
No, he loves camels. They're the pride of his nation, apparently.
Centaur. Then he should be happy about a centaur camel.
Maybe he likes the camels because the camels spit and horses don't.
Okay, like, there's two scientific names. I'm gonna go with one that has a slightly less extreme Camelus dromedarius.
A dromatar sounds like it would work.
I think a dromedary camel is a specific species.
It probably is.
You have to select the correct camel, right? Because you need to get the camel with the 2 humps so that you can sit between them. Because if you get the camel with the 1 hump, you're just like, it's annoying, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Let's... Camel is used informally in a wider sense. But the more correct term is camelid, to include all 7 species of the family Camelidae.
Aren't llamas also dromedaries? Are camels?
They're related.
But they have no hump.
Let's see, Wikipedia. What does Wikipedia say about camels? Oh, I hate the main Wikipedia site.
Did it ask you for money?
Yes.
No, that's not... That's... Wow, it's just so much pride.
Camel, genus of mammals. Let's see. Okay, according to Wikipedia, it looks like there's only one kind of species that's still around.
Really?
Really?
It's got Camelus dromedarius, which has a link, and then it's got Linnaeus. Oh, no, maybe that's the guy who discovered it. I don't know. Okay.
Linus Tech Tips.
Okay, maybe. Okay. There's 3. Oh, that's a weird one.
I'm gonna interrupt real fast just to say, Dale, you and I are gonna fight over this. The centaur is the best monster girl.
Okay, take your bets. Who's gonna... Which monster girl connoisseur is gonna
There you
come
go.
out on top when the dukes fly?
I'm
Go
not
at their
a
Dale.
connoisseur. Is the that is an ugly son of a gun. Holy cow.
There you go. There's your camel centaur
Oh
body.
my gosh, those humps. They're like spikes on his back.
You could make a cool like camel version of a Knuckalade.
Oh, what?
The like Irish monster that's like a horse, except there has a man like rising from the center of the horse's body.
The
And he
nucleavy?
has a scythe. Yeah, the nucleavy.
I tried to
That-
make
oh,
a
that
creature
sounds
based
cool.
on that.
I
How'd
remember.
it go?
I haven't used it.
It's not very cute. If I remember correctly.
I don't
That was
think
like
it's
the
supposed to
primary
be cute.
issue.
I thought it was pretty cute, the one I came up with, but it also looked a lot like another one, but strapped to the back of a horse. So I thought it looked too similar. But I think working with the concept, I did a pretty good job of making it cutesy. Camels are like cool
Camels.
meth horses.
Well, considering the one in the photo, I would have to agree.
That is definitely a meth horse. It's a,
That
It is
camel
indeed.
definitely lives wherever Dice Bag is from.
We do know where the meth is stored. I think so.
the cops found that one in the garage when they evicted the last guys.
Like the uncle. Well, when you discover that your uncle is cool or is a criminal, you still think he's cool. You just have a changed perspective on criminality.
That thing's got such shaggy hair coverage. Man, look at that.
That's the part that really makes it look messed up.
Yeah. If he was completely coated in a nice coat, then he might look alright, but he's like patchy as hell. I gotta find another class to do. Let's go to the wiki.
Does your town, do your guys' respective towns have like that one lady who just keeps a lot of exotic pets and you don't really know why? But she just has them?
Possibly. I'm happy to say that if that does exist, I don't know about her.
I don't know of such a person either.
My town had a lady who had just countless exotic pets, and you could go over to her house and you could see them. Honestly, it seemed like it was an illegal zoo, is how it felt like. But she had alpacas, peacocks, Komodo dragon, just like a bunch of weird stuff. And now that I'm an adult and I'm thinking about this for the first time in like 15 years, I'm pretty sure it was highly illegal, but nobody said anything.
Nobody cared enough?
Yeah. Which is cool, I guess. I mean, she wasn't hurting anyone.
I guess, if nobody got eaten or anything, then...
They didn't become a weird invasive species, either, so... That probably helps her case a lot.
If the local species can't survive a change, then they shouldn't be living anyways.
It's not fair, though, if, like, the change is cats. And all you have are kiwis, you know? Like...
Kiwis definitely get the short end of the stick, don't they?
Yeah, like...
They're small and they can't even fly.
Small, no way to defend themselves. Living in the way that they do exclusively because they're on, like, the most peaceful island on the planet, right next to the most dangerous island on the planet. And some nerd is just like, actually, let's just invite the world's single most dangerous predator in a small size. I don't know about you guys, but like tigers scare me.
Oh,
Like the big cats, those things are spooky.
Wait, no, you're scared of tigers? What?
You know what? You might have
Hear
a
this
point.
nerd, Dice? He's scared of tigers, huh?
Shame.
How could you? That is
Sometimes
Dice's
you get-
weakness, Koeth. That's why I never look in the mirror.
Wow. I don't know how to even respond to that.
Like I said, weak.
I'm just saying, every now and again you get like somebody who's like, I could take a tiger, I could take a gorilla, I could take a toolless apex predator, and I won't even entertain it. I'm mortified of any animal that is at like I'm terrified of any animal that is half my weight or more.
Dale says tigers girls greater than centaurs.
Which I would say
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of tiger girls, but not as much as centaurs. I would take the tiger tar. I think that would be fun.
Tiger
Those
tar.
I think Dale just really wants to fight right now.
Leave it to Kohat to just say no to like a basic cat girl, and say make it a centaur and we'll talk.
I've drawn tiger girls. Like, I've gone like into the anthro tiger girl space, and it was fun. But like, why would you want a tiger girl when you could just have like a girl or a centaur tiger girl?
You don't understand, Kohat. The cat features are cute.
Right,
like-
but you could have more cat.
Yeah, the issue with that is those are all variations of a tiger which have the capability of eating you significantly higher than your average house cat, which they at least have to wait for you to fight the big one before they try to eat you.
Yeah, but she's an intelligent being.
I think that's even scarier.
That's better, right?
Well, I mean, are you going to cannibalize the people you live with?
Are you?
No, because I'm an intelligent
why would you
being
ask?
who's part of a society.
How do you know?
Which the tiger girl would be.
How are you just gonna ask him, are you? Like you're the robot from iRobot.
What?
That's crazy. The implication that he would cannibalize. Oh, that's
well, he seems
insane.
to think a tiger girl would just eat the person that's like living and providing with them, and part of a member of the same society.
Yeah, no, the tiger girl is on your side. I'm also terrified of them because tiger animal that is half my weight or more, but that's kind of attractive. You know?
Okay, my concern is that in relative compared to a girl, a tiger girl has a better chance of trying to eat me if something goes bad.
That a normal girl wants to eat you?
I feel like we're gonna get into semantics if we go further into this.
No, I gotta know the answer. Because I feel like you're worried that a normal woman is gonna devour you like a black widow.
I'm not. That's the point.
So why would the tiger girl eat you?
Because she'd have. Well, it's more like she'd have an easier time eating me if she decided to.
Like, all right, so like, my wife could just kill me, right? Like, she could just poison me, and I would be dead, and then she could eat me if she wanted to. I don't think my wife is insane. Nor would my prospective tiger girl wife be insane.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Don't marry the crazy tiger girl. Marry the normal tiger girl.
That's a good point.
Yeah, get the tan tomboy one.
Well, you see, you can't tell that they're tan underneath the fur.
Depends on.
And you don't want to shave your tiger girl wife.
That's
How
the
furry
main.
Are we going exactly?
Oh geez, like I feel like shaving would be the absolute worst thing you could do.
Here, I will.
That is grounds to get clawed.
I will give you my example of tiger girl, which is safe for work. So maybe if I can find it. I draw too damn much. That one's not safe for work. Where is it? This is what I'm talking about. This is the tiger girl wife.
Oh, so you're talking about straight up furries?
Yeah, because otherwise you just have a woman, and that's so boring.
With
we wouldn't want a woman
with cute cat features.
Why wouldn't you want a cat with cute woman features? Actually, I take that back. I don't like that sentence.
It is pretty. I'm not going to complain about it, but I do agree with Dale. It is pretty furry.
I don't think Cohead is fazed by that.
I'm not.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider this Monster Girl territory. I don't know.
Monster girls are usually not furries.
Yeah, monster girls are usually monsters.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. I do like the
between 1.5 and
The
2.5.
tiger car.
Yeah, yeah,
What
probably.
they'll call it the lion lamia.
The lion lamia? As
Yeah,
in,
I'm all about the lion lamia. That's in the Discord chat.
where is it?
You would be.
I would be. Yeah, that's why I said it.
That counts as a lamia?
I guess if lamia just means tar, but in like Latin or whatever. Some dead
Okay, so
language.
not a lamia then, because I thought that the term lamia was pretty much snake person.
That's usually how it's used, yeah.
Yes.
Lion
Yeah, the
Mamia.
lion is my favorite
Oh,
snake.
yeah.
Lion Mamma Mia.
Medieval bestiaries redesigned lamia for some reason. Wait, they redesigned them? From what? More sphinx rather than snake? Oh.
All of those medieval people don't know what they're talking about. That's not real llama.
I also would not like the Sphinx. The Sphinx is weird.
That reminds
Not
me.
a fan of rock
there's this-
ladies that are shaped like lion, cat, eagles. No
Okay.
good.
That reminds me. There's this one monster that has 3 different animal heads and a snake tail. I can't remember what it was.
That's a chimera.
That is a chimera. You fight one
Okay.
of those in Dragon's Dogma.
Yes, you do.
Cool. I couldn't remember the
It
name.
really was cool. Yeah. You guys play Mother? You guys fight the ultimate chimera, which is not a chimera.
I'm actually, no joke. Which I was playing through Mother Beginnings. I have to get back to it. It's an NES RPG. It's very hard and very grindy, but it's really interesting. And I don't mean to say I don't know if I enjoy this, but it's got some cool stuff. Like it's cool. It's cool. One interesting thing was that there are these characters in one set. This is technically spoilers for a 30-year-old NES game. Do you guys mind?
Nobody cares.
I care. But since you don't, one quote-unquote party member you get is one of a set of flying men who travel with you and take hits from enemies for up to a certain point, until which they die, and if you go back to where the rest of the flying men are, you can see one of their graves. I'm going to presume that you can have all of them join you and die for your cause until there's only gravestones left.
Sweet.
What? I'm sorry, I zoned out there for a second. Only
What?
gravestones left?
Yeah, because they'd all die fighting with you.
Oh.
I'm not joking. That's probably it's technically speculation, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. You keep having a flying man tanks all the hits until they die. You go back, you grab another one, and you keep going until you feel sad for getting them all killed. Or you don't feel too bad because the grind is very real in this game. So far, the worst part is that the main character is asthmatic, and I'm just running into. Darn it, Dale. I'm just running into living cars that have exhaust that activate like causes asthma to go off, and he's pretty much useless until the other character I have can heal him. And when you get him, he's extremely weak, so I haven't grinded enough, so he dies in one hit while my leveled up character is too busy coughing his lungs out to do anything.
Real quick question, Dice. I'm drawing a drawing.
Uh-huh.
I have a layer. it's the layer's name is layer 6. It's a 100% layer on normal. I made it ages ago. I have no idea what is on the layer, and toggling it on and off, I can't see what changes. Should I delete this layer?
Well, if you can't see any difference, then what difference does it make if you delete it?
I'm terrified that I'm going to discover that this is like a reference layer that I was using as an anti-overflow or something like that. There's so much that could go wrong.
I don't even know what you just said.
Be adventurous.
I just need you to toss the coin for me, Dice.
Be adventurous. Delete your stuff. If you can't get it back, then curse the past you and move on.
It's gone.
Wait, I didn't think you'd actually do it.
It was a highlight layer. It's back. Okay, I figured it out.
Yeah, you can. You got the undo button. It's okay.
Or that.
Click the layer to see if it makes a selection. Does that work? That does not work. Oh, that does work. I've learned something new. I may have also crashed my CSP.
Uh-oh.
Just hit Control Z, it'll be fine.
Nope, we're past that point.
Have you tried it?
The screen is blacking out and coming back in.
Sounds like someone didn't try it.
Today I learned in Clip Studio Paint, you can hit Control and click on a layer to make a selection out of that layer.
You didn't know that?
And turns out it wasn't a highlight layer. It had nothing on the layer.
Ah.
There is no Monster Girl debate. There are simply Monster Girl answers, Dale.
Their answers can be wrong.
That's literally definitionally not what an answer is.
2 + 2 = 5. Is that right or wrong?
No, it's incorrect. What do you mean, is that right or wrong?
It's an answer.
No, it's something you're professing to be the end. Well, okay. Maybe I should make a distinction between an answer and the answer.
Okay, actually, I think I understand, but just in case.
Losing my mind.
Well, we'll go find it. It's just
Right.
it'll be like when people put themselves in a dark place. They fuss about when all they need to do is turn on the light.
Have you guys seen that Beach Boys AI cover of Hurt?
What is Hurt?
There are so many AI covers. I don't pay attention to them. Just one in a flood.
Oh, but this one is so good. It's the one that says, Hurt is the song that goes, I cut myself today to see if I still feel. Like the very, very emotional song.
If by emotional you mean emo, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what emo means.
I still don't know what the song is, by the way.
Oh no.
I
think we talked about it before. I did have the emo phase, so
I remember. Yeah,
it's probably too mainstream for me.
Oh, I see.
Kind of. I probably was mainstream at a point, but it's past being like really regularly referenced, even in memes.
I mean, emo was mainstream for a while.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. Okay. Hurt by Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash?
Yeah.
Well, technically, it's a cover.
Yeah, the Johnny Cash is a cover. Who sings the original? Is it 9 Inch Nails?
That sounds familiar. I think it is.
It's weird to think that Johnny Cash and the 9 Inch Nails live simultaneously with one another.
I never knew it was a cover for the longest time.
I freaking hate the hands on these guys. Am I even...
I thought those. I didn't.
Oh,
I'm kind of multitasking.
Thank God.
I thought those were eyes. That was supposed to be an eye at first until you added the fingers.
you know what? I forgot, but I did add a thumb on them, so that should make things easier. I know when I first drew these guys and designed them, they did not originally have a thumb, and it was making it really weird to draw their hands correctly.
I mean, it checks out. That would be strange. I'm in a conundrum right now. I am drawing a perspective shot looking down from above at the ground. And I have no idea how to draw the ground. like the subject is in the scene, but then the ground is beneath them so that you would be able to see the ground very clearly. But I have no idea how to just draw a ground, if that makes sense.
I kind of understand what you're saying.
Like, there's no horizon line to
Right.
look at. So my brain is just broken and it doesn't understand.
So it'd be like the ground is your skybox.
Yeah. But then S. Oh, it's so gross. All right, no background today, I guess. I guess that's how that ends.
The mainstream artist approach.
Yeah, when something's too hard, you just have to say, "Ah, it was a good effort." I'm not
Just
going to
scribble
develop this skill today.
Scribble something on the background. You make the layer invisible and say, "Well, I tried."
Make it abstract.
Make it a box with a gradient.
Alright, I think I figured it out.
Same. I'm going with the Pokemon like shadow approach. Where it's just the black shadow underneath the object. Got the rubber hose arms going on. What class is this for?
Golem.
Golem.
Yes.
Are Golem and Construct separate classes?
Construct is a type, and Golem is a construct class.
I see.
Let's see if I can tweak this real easily. Maybe not that easily, but trying to make it so there's a perspective of looking up at it.
Welcome to hell, I guess.
Yeah.
You said perspective, and all the artists and every artist watching the stream died inside.
It wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the fact that his body tapers slightly downward.
So not only do you have the perspective, but you also have the fact that it's not like a solid object. Like
Yeah.
a uniform object.
Oh,
Like-
I think I remember this guy. Maybe. The shape reminds me of one Cryture.
He's the one with he's the Eevee.
What? He is?
Yeah, he
I
has
didn't think
3 metamorphoses.
Oh. I don't remember that detail. Though maybe I'm thinking of a different creature.
Let's see, we can definitely give him a eye that's wider at the bottom there. He might be too wide.
Don't fat shame him. He's perfect the way he is.
He is not. He needs to go on a diet.
That is my chest-barreled boy right there. You made him wider. What are you doing?
What?
Oh, maybe I'm just behind, but I saw you expand the box. And I was just like, no, that's wrong. That's the opposite of what you wanted.
Yeah, it took a couple tries. I had to undo. He is definitely not slim enough. It's like a full body thing, practically. His head's fat, too.
It's just baby weight. He'll trim down.
Oh, it looks like you made his head wider. I was looking away for a second.
I
See,
didn't
that's
make
what
his head
happened with
wider.
the chest as well.
I made his body thinner.
Oh, his head looks so much bigger now.
Let's see.
Are you guys all familiar with the current internet drama that is Shadiversity and his use of AI imagery in the creation of 2D images.
I wish I could just ignore it.
Koeth, you were talking about this like we didn't discuss this a few weeks ago.
Oh, did we?
I
We
think
did.
so.
Like he popped up for some other reason, but yeah, this has been going on for a while. The main issue being, well, mainly Shad freaking out about like regular art versus AI art for some reason.
Well, I wasn't going to go very deep into the weeds. I was just going to say the head too big versus body too small thing reminded me of it.
Okay, that's good, because we kind of went a little deep when we went into detail about his brother being a successful artist and him kind of being really weird about the art stuff.
Oh, you know what? I remember. I was getting my food, and when I came back, you guys were talking about it. Okay.
Yeah, you probably didn't discuss like the bulk of it, but it did pop up. I'm not I remember I saw people talking about him more for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I think it was because he published a book and it wasn't that good.
I mean, that's old news.
Okay.
Yeah, his book's been
Well,
around for a while.
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know about. I mainly know about him from the AI drama. I barely understood that he did focused on medieval weaponry because they're so different.
I mean, everyone loves YouTube swords, guys.
Yeah, I'm not saying it. I'm not anything against YouTube swords, guys. I'm just saying, like, if you
Kind of hard. To
if you
say.
told me that the guy who was being weird about the AI art and regular art discussion focused on discussing medieval swords on YouTube, I'd be confused.
I think many people were confused.
Yeah, that's my main takeaway from it. It's weird.
Yeah, well, he's big on like world building and stuff, and that's part of that plays into the sword stuff. Because he also he also has videos on like medieval culture and all that, which I actually really like and have been helpful when I'm world building stuff like Crytures. But yeah, his obsession with AI art is just kind of weird.
That awkward moment where you like a guy's normal content and they just can't stick to that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
if it was
pretty
something
sure
he
that
wasn't that good at, but didn't obsess over or bring it up constantly, I don't think people care about the AI art.
Yeah.
It just keeps coming up and he keeps fighting everyone over it.
And he's got a big ego about it.
Dice?
Say what?
Do you like world building?
It's like my favorite thing, practically.
Really? Like even more than the storytelling aspect?
I hate storytelling.
Oh,
Okay.
really? Oh, that's so weird. I had no idea.
That's why I'm designing games. Because I don't like... otherwise, I'd be writing stories.
I'm glad you say that, because
Oh my god.
I like world building. I like storytelling. They're not the same thing.
No,
Right.
very different.
Because
I think we
people
all
talk
agree they're not the same thing.
Because people talk about story, lore, and world building as if they're storytelling, but it's more like a general story told, and where the arcs already happen.
Now, that's one of the reasons I have such a problem doing, like, DMing consistently, because I don't like doing that part. I just like to build the world. I just want to make a sandbox. I don't want
Nice.
to improvise and tell stories and, like, give character impersonations and stuff.
I do D&D, like, I mainly enjoy it as a way to hang out with friends. I still like it, but I don't consider myself good at it at all. Like, the improv, and I'm not the best at planning stuff out with it, because I could probably do it more actively, but I'm mainly bad at improvising in situations and getting creative.
I found this awesome YouTube channel that I've watched too much of in too short of time. And you saying that you were focused on gameplay and not at all on storytelling, and how you hate storytelling, and that if you could abandon all storytelling, you would in a heartbeat, made me think about it. It's just a guy that does games with literally no story whatsoever, but he's a DM for these storyless games that are far more game than story.
That's interesting.
I think you will find the videos funny if you're lacking something to do.
That I've never heard of that. That sounds interesting because I enjoy D&D, but but I don't consider myself good at it. And there are times where I just want to focus on like focus on the action stuff.
Yeah, this guy labels himself as a magic player. So I was immediately like, I do not care about what I'm about to watch. I don't know how this ended up in my recommendations algorithm. Then I saw his new stuff and I was like, I get it. This is great. This is excellent content.
Okay, back up. Are you saying you're not interested in the Magic the Gathering economy?
There's nothing less important to me in my life. Actually, I can't say that because I actually despise Magic. It's very important to me, and I hate it.
Are you saying you're not excited for the Magic the Gathering Marvel collab coming up?
I have never sat down, played Magic, and had a good time.
I've played it with friends. It was okay, but I didn't have a good grasp on the rules, so I don't know if I can say I liked it that much. I had fun, but it's it's like with some multiplayer games. Sometimes even if they're bad, they can be fun. They can be fun if you have friends to mess around with.
Magic is definitely not a game that you understand in one sitting.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't expecting to, and I didn't get around to playing more.
If it makes you feel better, I played a lot of Magic because my friends liked Magic, and I thought that if I kept playing it, eventually I would start to enjoy it. You know, like it's one of those, it gets good at X amount of hours in type of things. And for what it's worth, it never gets good.
Oh, sort of like all those people who play tons of hours in video games and all of them all get good?
No, because you don't get good, your deck gets good. And your actual strategic card counting, percentage manipulation doesn't get much better in comparison to the quality of the deck that you have taken off the internet because it's optimal.
Deck building is the main strategy. But
Correct.
there are definitely skills that you can employ.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like, I know you hate my favorite game genre, the roguelike card deck builder.
Is this your revenge talking about Magic?
No. No, I don't consider it revenge because I don't hate the people who play Magic. This really sounds like I don't hate the sinner, I just hate the sin. I don't hate the Magic gamer, I just hate the card game.
I think there are a lot of, for what it's worth, I think there are a lot of Magic players who hate the card game.
I definitely hate the current iteration of it, so...
They have so many different variants of the card game because people hate playing Magic.
I mainly know about the last thing I heard about Magic was the online version, which I shouldn't say it saved it, but I think it brought it back into relevance for a while. But of course it's probably in a similar situation to Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have all the rules that can happen automatically because it's on a game, but then you play the game and you realize it has all the rules that can happen of Magic.
Well, let me say this about Yu-Gi-Oh. I hate Magic. I want to launch a crusade against Yu-Gi-Oh. Like,
You don't want.
Yu-Gi-Oh needs a hard reset.
Now you're speaking my language.
I'm not one for hard resets in general, but they kind of reset the rules every now and again. I believe we have 2 decks now. I'm sure there's a way that it can be explained so that it makes sense to me. The fact that someone has to explain why a card game has 2 decks.
No, I
Like,
think you can very easily make a cool card game that features 2 decks. I
I'm
think
sure.
there are ways to do it that are interesting and like engaging.
It can't be a
But it's not
collectible card
Yu-Gi-Oh.
game.
Yeah, I
It's
understand
definitely
that.
not a collectible.
I grew up with, like, the Yu-Gi. From what I personally know of Yu-Gi-Oh, one deck, and there's just one deck I have to worry about. I don't think that's a very big ask. I'm sure there's a specific reason that the choice was made. Maybe it'll be fun if I learned it.
I don't want to be just negative the entire stream for some reason. But I think once you learned it, it will also not be fun.
Well, I know about it. I know about it vaguely. The last thing I heard was that I don't know if it was universal, but at least with the online game, there was a main meta of this thing hand traps, where trap card. I believe it's trap cards coming from your hand, and you somehow manage to. You can set up decks that can automatically combo people to death on the first turn.
Yeah, that's old. Like, that's not a new thing in Yu-Gi-Oh. However, the more cards you add to your trading card game, the more broken it becomes every time. There's no way to avoid it. That's why Yu-Gi-Oh has so many banned cards.
This is why Magic has rotating formats.
Hmm.
Do you even understand what I
still
said?
don't.
Actually,
I do, because they have like
explain it,
seasons basically that come in and out, and they're like, all right, this season we get to use these cards, and we'll do it this way, and these are the rules.
Yeah, they have like the standard format, which is like 2 years worth of Magic cards. So they tend to release things in what they call a block format. At least, I don't know if they do this anymore, because they do so much stupid crap that's not in line with the way the game was actually handled for the longest time. But when I was playing, what they would do is that they'd release things in block formats. So you'd have the year's block would be like a new setting for you to, a new plane for everybody. And it would come out with a big set, and then they would have 2 small sets or something like that for the rest of the year, and then like a core set, which is just generic cards. And so when the new block comes in with the big set, the entire block from like 2 years ago would rotate out. So the cards from 2 years ago would not be allowed in the standard tournaments, and you'd have to bring in cards from the latest set. And then that would add in with each new set from that block.
Yeah, I hate that.
But is that better or worse than just letting the game be a broken mess where every card can interact?
If you go into it with the knowledge that there's like a weird expiration date on your cards, I think it's better. It doesn't mean I like it though.
That's true, but there are non-standard formats too.
Correct. You can just play Magic.
Yeah, you can just just play casual.
Yeah.
But that is also miserable.
There's also Modern and Legacy, and I think there was another like half Modern, more Modern.
And then you
Modern.
also have like the two-headed giant and
Nobody plays that shit. Well, everybody plays Commander. I don't know why. It's like Magic for people who don't play Magic.
Right, because nobody wants to play Magic.
Magic players want to play Magic.
All three of them.
I would say that the adoption of that as like an official format is probably the worst thing that happened to Magic for actual Magic players.
Really?
Yes. Because it used to be like the players of that EDH or Commander format, like they'd get thrown a bone in each new set. They'd make cards that were kind of geared for that format, but they weren't like specifically making entire product for it.
Right.
But once they adopted it as a an actual like official format, then they started oversaturating things. They started just printing like entire sets and like pre-constructed decks with entirely new cards that were specifically made for that format. And it bled over into the normal sets too. They went like whole hog on that. So
like they created cards balanced around Commander, and then they ended up being broken in Standard.
Well, not just that they were broken, it's that like the card values and stuff. One of the things you have to keep in mind is that cards are valued by how much play they see. So if they see play in another format, then they're valued higher. And you know, I don't know how to explain this. Like the cost of a box of cards can only be so much, you know. And so
well, actually, not necessarily. The Magic economy is crazy.
If it gets crazy, then yeah, you can get some really expensive boxes. But the fact that the box of boosters has a particular set amount that it's sold for to distributors, and then that kind of puts a control on it. But when you start cramming like chase cards for every format into it, it kind of means that like even the cards that aren't supposed to be like super rare or valuable kind of end up being that way. Plus there's a ton of rarity creep and stuff. That's another thing. Whole different topic.
Rarity creep sounds like a good thing.
I'm very curious about rarity creep.
Yeah, I've never heard this term before.
Okay. So, in the early days, Wizards of the Coast said that, like, they would specifically take cards that were, like, very commonly used cards, and they'd say, okay, we're always going to print these at lower rarities. That way they don't get too expensive. Then they started not doing that. So they'd have like really basic like removal spells, and they'd be rares instead of like uncommons or something. And like practically every deck would want to play those, so your removal costs would shoot through the roof.
Not even removal cost is like in-game mana cost, but like the physical cost to purchase the card.
The value of the card.
What even is money, dude?
I have to respect Magic's longevity for surviving Wizards of the Coast for as long as it did.
No, I'm disrespecting Magic's longevity. That thing needs to die. There needs to be new card games.
Like I said, I'd rather people learn from their mistakes. But like Dicebag said, the ones who cause the problems are in charge and most likely make up all of the staff.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure the rules that they came up with before that I'm praising were made by a lot of the same people that are still doing the thing.
Oh, awesome. So they unlearned their own lesson.
Well, they didn't. They were probably told by Hasbro, their parent company, sell more cards. Because nothing else we do is selling. Print that money.
Hey,
Oh, you mean
they
this-
have My Little Pony, and My Little Pony's doing gangbusters.
Is it?
I mean,
I think so.
I mean, Dice. They're printing tons of Marvel products. They're selling out like gangbusters, and not filling up used toy stores and wasting plastic.
They freaking did a reprint of the Power 9.
What's that?
The most powerful
Power
cards in
9.
Magic that they promised they wouldn't reprint to maintain collectors' value. They had the 5 Moxen, the Mox Emeralds and all that. Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall. They basically reprinted the entire first set, but they gave it different card backs and said, oh, this is just a special, like, 30th anniversary edition. It's like, dude, you still reprinted all these cards that were only that were banned a long time ago, and they only exist for collectors now, and you reprinted them.
They actually reprinted the Black Lotus.
Dude, it's worse than that. They charged a buttload of money for them.
Oh my gosh!
I have to look this up because it was stupid.
Is Ancestral Recall a deck search card? Like a search card?
No, it was draw 3 cards for 1 mana.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is
Every card game needs a card called
Oh my
Ancestral
gosh,
Recall that is just draw or search.
It's
I love that
literally
as a trope.
Pot of Greed, but stronger.
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah, it's
instant.
busted.
It was an instant speed. You could play it on the opponent's turn.
Oh, that is messed
Oh, wait,
up.
that's actually-
I loved that.
And it
Wait,
was
that's
a
actually-
common too.
Okay, that's
That is
actually
so
terrible.
It was like Magic was the first card game to do this stuff, so they had no idea how powerful some of these effects would actually be.
Yeah.
Pot of Greed is memed on. It's actually really good as a card.
I mean, that's why it's memed on, is because, like, even draw 1 just by itself is absurd.
No, it's memed on because everyone, like, the anime always has to explain cards because, you know, it's a kid's anime and they don't have any text in the dubbed version.
Okay, lest you guys disbelieve me, I'm going to link you to the website for the 30th edition. What do they call this? 30th anniversary edition. Yeah, it's just called Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary edition. There you go. Here you go in the Discord.
You know, I'll look at this, but Dice, what you said was everything you said about this was so stupid that I have to believe it. 30th anniversary.
900. That's selling for $1,000.
Look how many booster packs they give you.
4 booster packs for $1,000.
4 booster packs for $1,000. And these are non-tournament legal reprints of the first set. Just literally printing money. And people bought it.
How many did they make? How is that out of stock? Who are these people who can afford this?
Instagram influencers.
I don't. Are there? I guess.
Jeez. It's a very... Is this a sign of a healthy company?
Oh, and note, those are random booster packs. You're not even guaranteed like a good card.
Right.
This is so awful.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If I came home and discovered that one of my friends purchased this, I would beg them to seek therapy.
I thought you were gonna say I'd beat them up.
Oh, I'm not a violent man, man. I'm not.
Like, you say you're not a violent man, but if you said I'm not a violent man, but I beat my friend up for making this decision, I understand that perfectly.
No, I would never beat on my friends. They're my friends, man. They're
I understand that,
But
but
I
if
would-
if this was the breaking point, I'd understand that completely. Like, I don't even know what I'd say to if one of my friends did this, because my friends are into Magic. I'm pretty sure they're at least aware of the nonsense. You know,
I
I'm
think
just
if you
gonna
buy
copy
these
this.
cards, you can't be aware of the nonsense.
I feel like this is the kind of thing where you can be vaguely aware of it, but you'd want to ignore the stuff if it doesn't apply to you, if you just want to try and enjoy the game.
It's definitely for collectors and not players.
Yeah. Imagine playing your game.
But if you were a collector, you would be collecting the original prints.
Unless
Like
you
that's
can't
the
get
one.
them.
Right, but not being able to get them is what gives them their value.
Or you get limited print run ones that are worth $1,000.
Hey, yeah. I'm so disappointed. I don't know what I'm disappointed in, but I'm so sad. Like I'm smiling, but beneath the smile is tears.
Yeah, there are definitely reasons why I no longer play Magic. It's not because the game's bad. Because the company's bad.
So the game's not bad?
I think the
game
game
might be a
is
little bad.
very close to as perfect as you can get. It has some major flaws, but I haven't seen another card game address them, well, except for the one I made, but that's beside the point. But I haven't seen other card games address them in a way that still retains all the good things about it.
I hear what you're saying, but I can't help but stick to the caveat, it has major flaws.
Well, everything is going to have major flaws. That's just
Yeah,
the nature of creative work.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm wondering how many of these flaws count as unforced errors.
I'm going to say
how many are
most
just
of them,
inevitabilities
because
of the
I'm
genre?
a Magic hater.
Maybe
I would suggest that the only real flaw that couldn't be corrected in Magic is the mana screw. Yes, you have to have a completely different game for that. You can't just fix it by changing design ideas. Hearthstone, no. You do what I did.
Listen to this man, Magic. He can fix your problems.
Nearly as familiar with your card game as I am with Creatures.
The card game is like Magic, but you know what? Maybe I can bring up a card for example.
If you're about to say it's like Magic, but there's no magic, I'm gonna lose my mind.
The mana system functions a little differently. We don't have lands.
It's like Magic, but there's no collectibles.
Talking about?
I mean,
the only thing you collect with Magic is depression.
Pardon me, let me correct myself. It's like Magic, but there's no economy.
Oh no, the Magic economy is crazy.
That's what I said.
Oh, I see. It doesn't have an economy.
Well aware that I'm vaguely aware of how the economy works. I understand that it's real and people can live
what
off
a dollar is.
What's the cost of money, Evergrade?
$1.
Alright, I'm gonna drop a card or two in chat here.
Okay.
I saw these, but I didn't look at them too in depth. Horn Behemoth.
What am I looking at?
This is the Magic card, right?
No, this is his card.
Yeah, this is my card game domain. Let me see, there's like one more example to get the full idea. I'll throw these up on screen too.
3.
So you may notice that the bottom part of the card is upside down.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to flip it.
Yeah, you flip it. So when you flip the cards, then they function the same way as a land would. So
Can you play the card flipped?
yes, you have your choice. You can either play it flipped like it's a land in Magic, or you can pay the cost and play it like it's normal.
Are they like set to that position
Yeah,
once you play them? I see.
unless you
Okay.
return it to your hand or something. So this makes it so you can have somewhat detailed mana bases, as they call it. So you see that one of them has a dual type, one is a single type, and then another one is colorless. So that can correlate to the power of the card as a balancing mechanism. So you got your standard ones that just have the one type of, the one color of mana. And then for weaker cards, what I do is I give them the dual type to kind of incentivize you to play them in your deck, even if they're not, as a normal card, as strong as the others.
I mean, that horned behemoth looks pretty strong.
Not for his cost.
Oh, that's his cost? So the ones in the center, what's his damage? How much does he hit for?
6.
What's he swinging? He hits for 6? What's the 6 below the 6?
That's how much damage it takes to kill him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
But he costs
And-
6.
Oh,
Gotcha.
oh, I see.
So he's not super efficient.
Oh, dude. Ocean Reach Oracle is insane, actually. when you print, you gotta reprint that card. That card is crazy.
Put it in a set of 4 booster packs and charge $1,000.
Honestly, you probably could. I mean, you bounce that card and you just keep replaying it. You just win. You've eliminated randomness.
You're gonna have a hard time finding ways to bounce it repeatedly.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there's even a single bounce effect in the first set.
Never mind. No problems.
No, I'm
I'm just looking 20 years into the future, and I'm like, this is gonna be a problem. Given what I know now, this is gonna cause some major consternation down the line.
New Black Lotus incoming? Question mark, exclamation point.
But yeah, the whole idea is that you're never mana screwed. Every card you have can be mana.
I think it's interesting because you'll always be able to play cards because you'll have the mana base. But I also hate the idea that I'll have a strategy that I'll want to go for, but I have to play like the crux of the strategy to play another card to keep me from dying. And then I lose the like strategic linchpin, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. I just hate the thought.
That sounds like a balancing point.
Yeah, there's a guy I know from my church who like makes tabletop games now. And when I showed him that's one of the things he said. He looked at his first hand, he's like, oh man, immediately I'm like, what do I spend as a resource right now because I can't have it later. It's definitely a big part of the game, deciding what you want to keep and what you want to use for what.
Because what I feel like is you're still going to put cards in your deck that are there to be just like your fodder. Like you draw this card and you're like, sweet, I got the one that I can throw away.
That's what the dual cards kind of are.
Yeah. Wait, so the dual cards, like the Horned Behemoth, can you play that as a resource for nothing? Like, do you play the resources for free, or do you still have to pay their cost to put them out?
You can drop one resource each turn. That's the only
see.
cost. It's just like Magic and or lands.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So with Horned Behemoth, you actually you don't need to play him until after turn 6, probably. So up until that, you can just drop him freely if you ever need to get him at all. You might even draw a second one.
Right.
And also, when you got guys like that have the colorless ones, that kind of inherently means that you can only fit so many of them in your deck. Because if you fill your deck full of cards like that, then you can't play anything because you have no colors.
Did you do a physical print of Domain?
They are print on demand.
See.
I'm thinking about doing like a remastering of it to get some better art for some of these things. Because some of them are literally like finger paintings that I did on my phone when I was bored at church.
I do not like the aliens drawing, is all I'm going to say.
You don't like the imps?
They're imps?
Imps.
No, I do not.
Which drawing?
There are many card arts that I like. The imps are not one of them. What's its effect? Did you drop it in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I do not like them at all. Do you have a timeline on when you want to do the reprint?
Not really. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to, but it's a thing. I was thinking it'd be good to get some experience in crowdfunding and use that as a way. It's just a matter of like, am I going to be able to find people to do it? Because I'm definitely not going to have the time to do all the artwork for it.
You can't work on Creatures and Domain as both the crowdfunder, the advertiser, and the artist, and the game dev. That's a little much.
It is
A little much.
Just a little bit.
Maybe two of those things at the same time is like, you know, somewhat manageable by an extremely passionate individual. However,
An
all of
extremely
those
passionate individual without a full-time job, maybe.
correct.
That's
Who
the
doesn't
other
like to
thing.
leave the house?
Yeah, that's not a weekend warrior type of situation.
But yeah, that's Domain. I fixed Mana Screw.
Yay!
That's the selling
My
point.
interest is also peaked. Dice, thank you for having me on your stream. I need to take off.
Alrighty.
I will catch
Okay.
you later.
We'll see you next time, maybe.
I miss him already.
So now what?
I don't know. I'll hang out for a bit. I'll hang out for a bit longer.
What time is it? Oh, 9:50? Okay, it is getting pretty late. That
It's
makes sense.
10:53 yet. But yeah, I'm getting a little tired. But I didn't want to just peace out just because Go left.
Oh, it's only 7? Did you say?
Oh, by me, it's an hour later.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't have anything going on, so I don't mind staying up a bit. I'd probably stay up even if I head off. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and blaze through the rest of this piece. I expected to get like 3 of these done. Still on the second one.
But are you saying that you couldn't stay focused without you in spite of because of our scintillating dialogue?
Yes. Pretty much. You guys are just too interesting.
Yeah. Yes, we don't. We are, aren't we? We have the kind of conversations that need to be had.
About centaurs and centaur camels.
Is it really a creature cast if there isn't one monster girl argument?
I mean, there usually aren't monster girl arguments when it's just myself. But that does seem to be a staple.
Okay, if you're arguing with yourself, if you're verbally arguing with yourself, I think you have other concerns besides which monster girl is your favorite.
It's called being entertaining.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that.
I gotta talk to somebody, and if nobody is in chat, I gotta talk to myself, because what if somebody comes in and I'm just being silent? We can't have that. I have to say something to them.
I personally like to talk to the voices in my head. They know what's going on.
They're usually pretty knowledgeable.
Aren't they, though?
Sure, I mean, have they ever steered you wrong?
Considering my sense of direction, pretty often, actually.
Well, for directions, you're supposed to listen to the voice in your car.
I listen to the voice on my phone. Worked pretty well until that one time I went over it. It took me over a toll bridge past my destination. So I had to pay the toll twice to go back.
Oof.
Very, very fun, especially because I left very early to get to my destination to catch a movie. I only missed the first 10 minutes, but I really wanted to get there on time. So it bummed me out, to say the least.
Dang GPS.
Yeah.
They should pay reparations.
Yeah. I think that was the same day that there was some slow traffic. I looked to my left. Things were kind of slow, but one car was moving a bit too fast. I was thinking, okay, that guy might hit someone. And he rear-ended someone. So, I guess the feeling of, I'm so glad that isn't me, was one positive note.
Been feeling like there's an awful lot more reckless drivers in my town recently. Saw one guy just straight up swerving in and out of the cars and traffic just to like get ahead of people.
That happens with me. I tend to be pretty cautious, but I can never trust when people aren't going to make turns. I vividly remember one guy making a U-turn in what was a pretty busy road that had a fair amount of traffic. I don't consider myself the best driver, but it feels like a lot of people are worse.
Yeah, some people are just straight up crazy.
Yeah, I don't really like driving that much, and this doesn't make. That's the main reason.
What kind of background do I need to give this guy? He's got all these neutral tones. It's like,
Do you want
what fits?
maybe some sort of energy projection going on behind him?
Mostly worried about the color here.
Yeah, I think that direction looks good for a background on a piece that's supposed to be simple.
Yeah. We'll get a little more detail in it after I get the normal stuff figured out.
Of course.
There we go. Try a smaller brush for these more nitty-gritty areas. Don't like how it has blunt ends.
I was thinking that.
You been working on anything this whole time?
Sort of. I was doing one thing and was a bit distracted, but that's pretty much finished. I'm not gonna do that again because it involved text, so it kind of split my focus. It was It came out. I'm happy with how it came out. But it took longer than I wanted, and it was. I'm not good at multitasking, especially with anything related to text or talking.
Join the club.
Right now I'm just sort of trying to get at least one more piece done for the night. I have so many things to do and so little time. At least it was a relaxing day, even if I did have some chores to do. But it's work that's done without having to deal with customers or more mandatory tasks. So it's nice.
Customers. Oh, come on, CSP. Load your stuff. That makes me think I should probably save this before I do anything else.
Saving is raving.
Uh-oh. Did I just save over the PNG?
Save again just in case.
I did, damn it.
Wait. Go to save as and save it as a CSP file. As long as you don't close it, it's not going to erase all the layers.
It was already... I was doing it on the blank page, but I didn't change the name of it.
Oh.
So when I hit the Control S, it saved the PNG as I had it there.
Do you have this as a separate CSP file?
I'm about to.
Okay, as long as you have that, you're fine.
There we go. It is all saved.
Okay. It wasn't for anything big, but I have learned the hard ways the risk problems with accidentally saving as the wrong file.
Yeah.
It's not
always
fun.
trust backups either.
I haven't had much luck with backups recently. Better to trust what I do.
Let's get this a little brighter. Hmm. Not sure I like it with the multiply layer or not.
That's a good question.
I do feel like it kind of fits the style better when it's multiply, so it's kind of faded out.
I do like the light at the edge with the darker power, like power lines, I guess. It's a nice contrast.
I don't know, I kind of hate it now.
That's how it goes.
It is how it goes. It feels like it's not very dynamic and I didn't do good enough in the perspective to make it interesting. Oh well, c'est la vie. It'd be like that for artists.
Yeah, I think it looks alright. It's mainly the background that I'm not sure about. But I don't know, but I can't think of a specific way of a suggestion for how to adjust it.
Maybe we just throw some straight up white around the little bits of edges and stuff.
Go for it. Okay, I like that. With a white outline around him.
And tone it down a bit.
Sure. What do you think?
I think it's probably gonna be as good as I get it without redoing the entire thing.
Hey, so think of it as a learning experience if you're not happy with it.
Everything's a learning experience.
The eternal students. That's everyone. What's this creature's name again?
Clayman.
Wait. I think I saw... I don't know if I've seen this one. He reminds me of a different creature.
Is it one of his metamorphoses, perhaps?
Possibly. I think there was an Eldritch type with a similar body type that you may have scrapped or redesigned.
Yeah.
Wait, is this him?
Nope.
Okay.
Let me pull him up. I have to... This is what I'm looking for. Ah, there we
Okay.
go. I'll throw him in stream chat.
Oh, yeah, the third iteration is what I was thinking of. Oh, wait, are those his evolutions?
Yeah. He's like Eevee.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a separate creature. I get it now. That's cool.
Yes, he is, he can be modified as one of the generic, most generic constructs.
I get it.
So yeah, I got two that have this Eevee thing going on, but he was the main one, the first one I did. And we'll have to expand on that later on.
Sure.
Don't want to just leave them with 3 forever like they do with Eevee. How long has it been since Eevee's had a... Sylveon was the last one in Gen 6.
Yeah.
It's like 3 generations ago.
That's one of the weirdest decisions, because I'm not sure... Of course, I'm not sure what Game Freak would do with another Sylveon type, but it feels like the kind of thing where everyone is curious to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure why. I guess I kind of like the restraint on it, but given how long it's been, I'd at least like to see a new type.
Yeah.
It's sort of like with the Regis. Like, you never thought it would happen, but it was nice to see some new variations.
They picked like the worst ones for the Regis though.
Actually, thinking about it, I thought the reason they didn't was because they were trying to think of like elements that fit, and they picked Dragon, which they had to rework as a Dragon Core of Energy, and Electricity, which they had to say in the decks didn't have a form and was in danger of disappearing if it ran out of energy.
They don't roll off the tongue very well either. Regi Lecky?
Regi, is it Lecky or Regi Elecky?
I don't know. Either of them don't really sound that good.
Regi Drago. Regi Drago's alright, but it doesn't beat the original. And Regi Gigas is a bit more wordy, but still. It still fits well enough. It still has a sort of brevity to it.
He's a big boy. He gets a big name.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Just weird that they decided to bring him back once and they picked electricity and dragon as the types.
I mainly think it's weird because the first 3 had physical forms, and they choose the ones that don't have, like, natural physical forms.
Oh, I skipped that entire generation anyways.
We need to get back to it one day. I haven't really had time for any video games. Pokemon is... It can be long, but Pokemon is at least... One good thing about Pokemon is that it's not... If you want to get, like, a quote-unquote full experience of just going through the whole game without collecting everything, it doesn't take too long, like 40 hours? Like 20 hours or something for a campaign? Not even?
That's so long when I just want to free roam and collect things, though.
I know, but I mean, I mainly think of, like, the usual RPGs in comparison.
Yeah, there's a reason why I never finish RPGs that aren't Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm kind of a one... I kind of want to get more into... dig deeper into them, but I'm usually kind of a one-and-done guy who likes to play a bunch of different games. So, as far as RPGs goes, Pokemon is better, generally better, which was why I kind of kept up with it more for a while.
Alright. I got this guy all saved in 2 different versions.
You please don't, just... You got a CSP version, right?
Yeah.
I
said
had
that a while ago. Now we make a transparent version and one with the page behind it.
Okay, you scared.
For each
I
of
just
them.
wanted to make sure.
I got it. And I've also got the time lapse recorded, so I can use that in a video, and people can make me watch me make this boring image very slowly. Actually, very fastly. Gonna have to speed it up like 32 times because it took so long.
It's such a shame that you'll lose the magic of our very deep conversations, but it needs to happen for the people.
You gotta keep it around 5 minutes. They'll get to watch the VOD, that's still around.
I mean, we are good background noise, right?
Yeah. But not for a time lapse.
Imagine a time lapse, but you keep the sound.
I hear those all the time because I record them. Before I edit out the audio, I still got I'll be looking through like my recordings, and I open one up and I just hear like VTubers talking in the background, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was watching that. Well, we gotta take that out and put music over it. And it's much better. And faster. And dang, I didn't say anything about this before, but I've been running those ads on my YouTube channel because they came out with a promotion feature. This latest one gained freaking like 100 subs.
Oh, I remember you brought that up. I didn't remember the specifics.
Yeah, that was before it had run its course. Like the next day, I had broke 200. I'm sitting at 235 now. Like that's crazy. Like I spent years under 100, but I get to pay some money to bypass the algorithm, and immediately I'm seeing growth.
Are you saying that there's a problem with the almighty algorithm dice?
I'm saying the algorithm might have a bias towards people who already have a ton of content out there and are already getting tons of interactions on their stuff, and it kind of makes it difficult for people who are just starting out to get any growth whatsoever, regardless of what level their content is. It'd be nice if they had like a new creator tab or something like that, just something so you can go in there and it's not like fed to you from gigantic million subscriber channels, and that's just all it is. But
I remember.
Much all it is.
Yeah, I remember. I kind of had the opinion years ago that big social media was just terrible for smaller creators, even before they got obnoxious.
Things got really saturated, and the corporations just wanted to stick to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm doing the karaoke celebration. Hey, audience, if you're here this late, guess what? Next week, next Friday, in between Thanksgiving and Saturday, I got the day off, and I'm gonna do karaoke to celebrate breaking 200 subscribers on here and 250 on Odyssey, which I did a while back, but nobody chats over there or anything. They just watch the VOD. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. I found some new music that I can sing, some like actual modern stuff instead of just stuff from the 80s, 70s.
Copyright safe music on Twitch, what?
Oh, we just don't keep the VOD up. That's all we gotta do.
Oh.
Except we keep the VOD up on Odyssey because they don't care.
Odyssey isn't weak.
Odyssey got the blockchain, so we can't erase it. So yeah, I guess I should probably wrap it up now. We're past 10:19. So yeah. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I already told you what's happening. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Take care, everyone. Have a good evening.